first round Premiership tie between Northern and Hull KR. Northern's team, number 1 Keith Mumby, number 2 David Barrons, number 3 Ellery Hanley, number 4 Alan Parker, number 5 David Smith, 6 Dean Carroll, 7 Andrew Robinson, 8 Jeff Gratian, 9 Brian Noble, 10 Gary Van Bellen, 11 Chris Parrott, 12 Ian Ellis, 13 Graham Idle, and the 2 subs, number 14 Kevin Morgan, number 15 Phil Sanderson. And the Rovers side, number 1 George Fairburn, 2 Dave Laws, 3 Lydiate, 4 Robinson, 5 Dunn, 6 Hartley, 7 Arkin, 8 Millington, 9 Watkinson, 10 Steve Crooks, 11 Phil Hogan, 12 Kevin Watson, 13 David Hall, 14 Lazenby, and 15 Price. And the referee for today's match, Mr. Whitfield. Northern very much changed. Injuries plaguing the side at the moment. In fact, we're with us today, one of the mainstays of the Northern side, but unfortunately injured today, Alan Redfern. Hello, Alan.
Afternoon.
What do you think about the team today then, Alan? Very much changed, yeah?
Yeah, I think we've had to do a lot of changes, but for the last few games we've been changing anyway, so I don't think it'll unsettle us as much as maybe Hull KR will be unsettled. Hopefully, you know, they'll play these youngsters.
Yeah, that's right. Hull KR, of course, without a full back three. Lowe out injured, and Casey and Burton suspended.
Yes, I think they're the main 3 in the pack. They're the most likely try scorers they have, but they've still got this Hall, which is very dangerous, lows forward. So I think we might just have the edge on them.
OK, Arkin to kick off, down Dean Carroll collects. Brian Noble in out in half back to Gary Van Bellen driving forward. Again, we've got Noble and young Andrew Robinson. Jeff Gratian driving forward. Jeff pushing a man off there, bringing Northern forward onto the 10-yard line. And again, Gary Van Bellen driving into the pack. Ian Ellis going past one man, were held by Millington. And Noble going his own, breaks the gap, makes a halfway line. Good little run there by Brian Noble, first scrum down. Free kick to Northern there for sitting down the scrum there, Ry Watkinson. Top penalty and to Graham Idle. Graham making 10 yards, brought down there by Hogan and all. No Blackton half back, bound short side to Van Bellen. Whoa. Van Bellen, Watkinson in there. Noble, Robinson. Oh, spotted there. Nice run there by Andrew Robinson. Nice little run there by Robinson. Rovers player down there, Hurt. Now Dean Carroll back inside to Ellery on the burst. Ellery on the burst. And Ellery going through. Make it going through to Brian Noble. And Brian Noble's a beautiful try there. Fantastic try for Brian Noble there, backing up Ellery on the burst. Brian's Hurt scoring the try, but a wonderful opening for Northern there. Young Dean Carroll dropping Ellery Hanley off there, and Ellery running very straight. Brian Noble doing a great job to back up and crash over for a try. Unfortunately, Brian Hurt in the try. What do you think of that then, Alan? Fine try, yeah?
Very good try to nothing that. Dean Carroll took the ball across and dropped Ellery Hanley on the bump inside. Ellery's a very strong lad. He took him on, ran away from Georgie Fairburn, and Brian Noble backed up inside very well. Crashed over with about 3 or 4 on to him, and it looks as if he's got a bit of concussion or something.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a bad knock there, does Brian. But it looks like Ulke have a man coming off here at this. The short side here, David Hall, the loose forward. Kick there, and a beautiful kick there by Dean Carroll. 5-0 to Northern. Just put 5 up. Just put 5. So Ulke further it by injuries there, Alan. David Hall, was good footballer, David Hall, loose forward.
Yes, I was just saying, he's their danger man, and seemed to hurt himself in the tackle there. His ankle or something. He's their main man for them today, so I think they'll struggle a bit more now. With 5 points up, so I think if we take the game to them, they'll struggle a bit today.
Brian Noble, good to see Brian on his feet and back, joining the lads there. Ray Price substituting for David Hall in the Ulke team. The ball blowing over there, and Arkin there miscuing altogether. A bit like a golfer shot, that one.
I think the referee told him not to kick it, and made it look good anyway.
Arkin putting the ball deep down into Northern half. A good kick down to David Barnes. David Barnes collects, running powerfully to makes his 25. Ian Ellis to play the ball. Ian Ellis runs the ball. Gary Van Bella driving forward. Well tackled there by Watkinson. Sorry, by Price. Gary Noble, Chris Parrott coming forward. Tackled by Millington and Price again. Short side Ian Ellis. Charge down there. Picked up by Andy Robinson. Andy just taking the ball in, well collared there by Jed Dunn. Jeff Gratian, Jeff coming forward. Sorry, Ian Ellis again there. Dean Carroll with a big kick. Nice bounce there, and Northern getting a fortunate bounce there and putting in 5 yards inside the Rovers half. Paul Arkin to put the ball in for Rovers. Penalised again, Rovers penalised again. Loose arm there by David Watkinson. Keith Mumby to put the ball into touch for Northern. Nice kick by Keith, deep into the OKR 25. Chance here for Northern to put a bit of pressure on the Kingston Rovers line. Here we are with the wall kick. Jeff Gratian going on. Parrott's through there. And penalised. Jeff Gratian penalised at that, and for talking gets a further 10. I think Jeff was penalised there for offside. Funny situation, that one.
Yeah, we've done it once or twice, that move, and sometimes the referee gives obstruction, and sometimes you don't know where you stand with the referees with that move we have.
Well, it's all now Price forward to Millington. Millington driving in. Tackle there by Parrott and Van Bellen. That's Price to Arkin. Arkin feeding to Crooks. Crooks loses a ball. Keith Mumby with the ball.
Come on, Keithy! Come on!
Pushes one man off. Going forward under Watkinson. Nice run there through by Mumby. Brian Noble making next a few yards at acting half back, but runs into Phil Hogan. Andy Robinson. Dean Carroll. Dean running, sees a gap. Moving. Nice yardage there by Dean Carroll. Graham Idle penalised there. Watkinson there appeared to be roughing Dean Carroll up in the tackle there. Graham Idle went to his assistance and penalised by the referee there, Alan.
Yeah, Watkinson has been at it from the start of the game. He's a rough lad, Watkinson, but the referee hasn't picked him up at all. Up to present, Graham Idle was helping Watkinson off Dean and penalised him.
That's right. And of course with the win behind him, George Fairburn going to have a kick at goal. We know George can kick these goals. He's one of the top scorers in the rugby league, goal kickers in the rugby league. Fairburn with a kick, misses it altogether. Brian Noble sucks it, picks up with his hand. Tackle there. Gary Van Bellen, Jeff Gratian inside, pushes one man off, going through. Millington in there, free kick to Northern. Millington coming in, third man there, and throwing a punch. Jeff Gratian playing to himself, going forward, pushes Organ off, and again.
Number 12 this time, they all want to go.
Graham Idle at the play, they pick the ball into Gary Van Bellen, Andy Mr. Van Bellen, Andy Robinson drops Ian Ellis off, Ian Ellis making ground. Good ground there. And again, another Chris Parrott this time catching a punch off the ball. This is disgraceful, really, Alan. We've had now in the last 3 or 4 tackles at least 3 men throwing punches.
Yeah, there's no need for this kind of game. They're still at it now. I think they're trying to add our team into playing their game, playing it rough and, you know, hassling them. There's no need for us to do it, but I think we're disciplined enough not to get caught in their trap. But these penalties come in handy for us.
Well, that's right. With Dean back in the side, we know Dean can kick him from anywhere in the Rovers half, and I know the lads take some stick, but let's hope Dean can keep it in across from the penalties. Dean Carroll with the kick again. The ball rolls over. Very, very strong wind today here at Hull, blowing directly into Dean Carroll's face. Carroll to kick, and the ball falls. Jeff Gratian wisely sending Andy Robinson back there to stop the clock and to allow Dean to be able to plant the ball and make sure they get the time. Again, Dean to kick, catch the ball, pulls the ball across there. Very hard kick into the wind direct, Alan, to get the ball straight.
Yes, it's a strong wind today. It didn't either go in one way or other. It's swelling about today. George Fairburn had trouble with the wind.
Drop back into Keith Mumby. Keith Mumby sets back and sets Northern back on the... Comes forward. Graham Idle coming forward. Gordon's one man, makes a OKR half. Brian Noble to play the ball out to Gavin Varibel forward. Bongs into the Price and Organ. No, Robinson out. Millington, well tackled there by Millington and Watkinson. Jeff Gratian to play the ball. Ian Ellis, that was a quick ball there. Dean Carroll coming back, still going Dean Carroll. Jinking and moving forward there, Dean. Ellie Hanley picks and goes. Shows the ball and goes. Great run there by Ellie Hanley, right up to the 25. Ellery looking very sharp today, Alan.
Yes, he's looking for work today, Ellery. Like I said, he's a strong lad and he takes him on. And if he keeps playing like this, I think he'll have a good game himself.
Yeah, that's true. Putting the ball in there and the ball...
Oh! Come on, referee!
And then Northern penalised for offside, but Paul Harkin apparently... Paul Harkin there appearing to walk over Graham Idle there. Long kick there by to Keith Mumby. Keith unable to take the ball, very strong, moving around in the wind there. Keith will feel he should have taken that though, Alan.
Yes, it was a bad kick from George Fairbairn, but it was right on the touchline. I think Keith had it in his arms, but it seemed to bounce off his chest and over his head.
That's right, it was a wind coming, as I say, a wind behind Fairbairn there, coming with a lot of strength with that ball. Kick to Rovers, loose arm. Penalty to Rovers. Harkin play the ball out to Millington. Millington driving forward to Parrott. Parrott's well tackled there is Millington by Parrott. And a Price onto Harkin, onto Crook, onto Hartley. Hartley falls and is held by Dean Carroll, Andrew Robinson. Price out again to Harkin. Harkin back into Hogan, but well tackled there by Gary Van Bellen. Moving the ball, quickly moving the ball across Harkin. Harkin to Crooks, to Watkins, drops the ball, and Northern's ball. Parrott takes the ball well there. Andy Robinson forward, Gary Van Bellen driving forward there, Gary. Brian Noble pushing the ball out. Jeff Gratian on the burst going forward, brings us over the 10-yard line. Brian Noble pushes it to Dean Carroll. Dean Carroll with a kick. Nice kick by Dean, just inside the Rovers half. Harkin to feed in. Brian Noble, well down Robinson there.
Never retired the scrum half.
Northern ball, Ellie Hanley slits. Oh, Dave Barron's still going. Loses the ball.
Their ball, yeah. Come back to him and we'll have it again. Now then, let it go. Come on!
Crooks going forward, but well tackled there. Never play the ball, but got away there, yes. Quite right there, the referee. Crooks are up and never attempted to play the ball. And well spotted there by referee Whitfield. I think no doubt about that decision there, Alan.
No, I think it would argue about the decision, but there was no doubt there. Never played the ball at all.
Keith Mumby to kick for touch. Nice long ball. And a nice kick, puts it deep again inside the Rovers 25.
I didn't see over.
Again, the wall penalty moving around and going and Graham. Oh! Terrible tackle there by Lee Crooks. Terrible tackle there, really laying Graham Idle out, flat out.
He's got to shift him for that, surely.
Well, Alan, I think the referee's going to have to start stamping on some of these tackles now because somebody's going to get hurt, and it's, you know, they've got to stamp this kind of play out. There's too many people getting hurt there. I mean, Graham Idle just laid straight out. Never attempted to tackle a man, but just a stiff arm.
They're playing this harassment game again. These are the worst tackles what you can get. You're never expecting any high tackles because you're not looking for them. You can break people's jaws, anything with this game. But their game, it's just harassment. I don't know what Millwall's told them to do or why. You know.
I'm sorry, there's not Graham Idle. It was Chris Parrott actually on the burst there, taking a heavy knock though from forward Crooks. But Dean Carroll with the kick for Northern. 20 yards out to the right of the far post.
I don't know where he is, doesn't the lad look? Dear me.
Chris Parrott, Ronnie Barrett bringing Chris Parrott off here. So there we are, a man coming off injured through deliberate foul play. And the perpetrator still stays on the field. A disgusting state of affairs, this. Quick kick there, blown back by the wind, Alan, and Hartley takes it a yard inside play. Northern tackling now. Ellis tackles, out to Millington. Millington drives forward, but is well tackled there by Gary Van Bellen.
That's the way with him.
And Ian Ellis. Price out. Price out, Watkinson kicking.
It's all right.
Ball going very deep into the northern half. Dave Barron's collects. Barron's tackled by Mumby. Tackled by Dunn. Mumby to play the ball into Ellery Hanley. And again, Rovers penalised for second man come in. Watkinson again, a high tackle on Ellery Hanley. It's just not good enough though, Alan. All this penalising and the referee's taking no action at all. He's not even booking men. It's just not on, is it?
This referee is very bad with his judgments. All he's doing is penalising. He hasn't talked to nobody yet or booked anybody.
No, but we've already had one lad badly hurt, and it can mean other people getting hurt. Not only that, but it encourages other teams to retaliate, Alan.
If he lets the players get away with it, they'll carry on and do it. He's got to stamp it out straight away.
That's right, Gary Van Bellen driving forward. Beautiful run there by Gary Van Bellen. But loses the ball, Noble picks up, he's in touch there. Scrum down just short of the halfway line.
What we've come to watch today.
Again, Rovers penalised. Millington pulled out this time for using his head in the front row. But the referee's going to have to take some action soon because this is disgraceful. The penalty count now of 8 to 3. Disgraceful state of affairs. It's hardly rugby, is this? Keith Mumby to put the ball into touch for Northern. Safely into touch from Keith.
Oh, don't do this again. Bloody men injured every time.
And again Millington in. And Millington in again. Again, this was bound to happen. The fracas there with Millington, bound to happen. Millington roughing the man up in the tackle. Gary Van Bellen coming in. There's a disgraceful state full of affairs. Millington goes off and Gary Van Bellen goes off. Well, this was bound to come, Alan.
This was about to come, but I think we've been penalised for it. Gary went in to protect his own man and he's been sent off.
Well, this is disgraceful. Millington getting applause from the Rovers fans for being sent off, Alan.
Yes, there's no credit in the way he's been playing, but that's how the fans are here. Yeah.
Scrum down given by a referee. Narkin to feed into Rovers. That was tackle there. It's thrown down by Jeff Gratian. Narkin got done. Done there again, tackled by Gratian. And Noble. Northern play offside there. Referee Whitfield calling catching Northern offside and kick to Rovers. Fairbairn to kick for touch. Fairbairn, long kick into touch. Just short of Northern 25. It's Price plays the ball. Watkinson onto Crooks. Crooks driving forward. Well met there by Ian Ellis and Graham Idle. Harkin Harkin running, Harkin dodging. Watson, well tackled there by Ian Ellis. And Hogan on the run to Crooks. Crooks tries to get the ball away, but well tackled there. 5 yards short of the northern line. Crooks going forward, held by Mumby, loses the ball. Gets the ball off, passes well off the ground. Hogan's going for the line. Hogan goes over for a try. Looked as though Hogan initially passed that ball off the floor and the ball was in, came out the tackle on the floor. Hogan fell down on his back and then passed the ball up. But nevertheless, the referee gives a try. One more pass, Hogan back on his feet and takes an inside pass on over.
Yes, then we had a bit of bad luck there because he tried to have a go, play the ball himself. Wayne, he seemed to lose the ball and somebody dropped on him, passed it out, and Hogan just turned inside and dived over.
So Fairburn with a kick for Rovers. Try for Rovers after 22 minutes. Fairburn with a kick, kicks the ball straight through the middle. 5-5. Both teams, of course, reduced to 12 men now with Willington and Van Bellen being sent off. Elliot Hanley with the ball, puts it deep into Fairburn's hands. Fairburn collects, comes forward to the 25, runs through Hanley, but it's well tackled there by Andrew Robinson. Price to Harkin, and there Watson drops the ball. Alan Parker picks the ball up. Ellis is coming forward.
Oh no. They started the game off determined not to be loud. Ridiculous.
Brian Noble will play the ball. Phil Sanderson. Price, well tackled by Price. Price and Watson. Andrew Robinson forward to Jeff Jason, onto Dean Carroll. Keith, Alan Parker. Well tackled there. Jeff Grayson picking the ball up and going forward. Going round. Still going forward, Jeff Grayson on the 25.
The game should be played like this. Never mind stiff arms.
Graham Idle gets the ball out to Dean Carroll. Kick in there. That's a beautiful kick there. Right under the post. Drop out under the post. Seems rather fortunate there, Alan. I thought Ellery got his hand to it, but he's given it to Fairburn.
Yes, a bad decision from the ref. Good for us, but bad decision. I think actually it looked like Ellery Hanley from here.
That's right. George Fairburn putting in the ball deep. Dave Barron's collects. Sets off.
Come in, David.
Dave Barron's trying to run through Jed Dunn as well tackled. Loses the ball. And scrum down. Dave Barron's flat out across there. Dave Barron's still out on the floor and scrumming down. Harkin to feed.
Did he retire?
The referee gives a knock on there. Harkin again to put the ball in, puts the ball in. Ball comes, never went in the scrum pounds. Hartley well tackled there by Carroll. Harkin with the ball, all forward to Hogan on the run. Again, well tackled there by Ian Ellis and Graham Idle. Price to Harkin. Harkin to Watson on the run. Watson tackled by Alan Parker. Rovers coming forward now. All across to Hartley trying to run, but well tackled there by Phil Sanderson.
Got kicked well then.
Price moving the ball out to Harkin. Harkin bringing men with him, but well. Was tackled by Robinson, but then let out of the tackle and continued to 25. Harkin looks forward. Hogan, a little chip forward, kick through. Into touch, 5 yards line, 5 yards short of the Northern line. Andrew Robinson to put the ball in for Northern. Ball's in. Down and well picked up.
What's number 5 running in now? From right over there.
Again an altercation there. Harkin being spoken to by the referee and Robinson.
They don't run in to become part of it. Run in to become part of it.
Scrum down again after Northern had got the ball. Andrew Robinson picks the ball up, goes blindside. Well picked up there by Andrew. His Northern possession. Ian Ellis picking the ball, coming forward. Andrew Robinson. Graham Idle runs forward, pushes Watkins and still comes forward. Robinson, Sanderson driving forward. Making good ground is there, Sanderson. And play the ball out to Jeff Gratian. Jeff Gratian straighten up, pushing one man off, still coming forward to the 10-yard line. Pushed back by the Rovers defence there. Fifth tackle. Forward to Dean Carroll. Dean Carroll still going forward. Andrew Robinson pushes him off. Still loses the ball. Hartley in possession. Hartley to Harkin. Harkin going to run across field onto Hogan. Hogan going straight. Tackle there. Tackle by Ellis and Idle. Price. Northern caught offside again. Fairburn, I'm sure he'll take a kick for goal here. Put his side in front. Not getting much ball, Alan, and when we tend to be just dropping it.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think we're doing enough with the ball. We're running well, but we're running in ones. We're running on our own. There's nobody backing up. They've got to run either in pairs or everybody.
Yeah, show you right on. Fairburn with a kick. Kicks. Straight through the post to give Vulcar the lead, 7 points to 5 after half hour of the first half. Ellery Hanley again to kick off for Northern. Ball just bobbled as it was kicking, but went forward. Watson takes the ball, but it's tackled there by Idle and Gratian. Watkinson out to Price. Price to Hogan. Hogan coming forward. Beats a one man. There's a tackle there. Well tackled by Mumby. Hogan quick play the ball. Moves the ball across. Harkin across. Hartley pushes off Dean Carroll. Runs it across. Lydiot there. Lydiot. Well tackled there. Tackle there by Graham Idle. Ulrike putting pressure on now. Harkin to Crooks. Crooks coming forward. Crooks to Hartley dumbing across. Trying to get the ball around the back there.
Oh, come on!
Come on, referee. Touch judge.
What the bloody hell are you doing? Come on! You could have been.
There again, Alan, just intimidating tackles here by the LKR players. Hartley actually standing on the lad's head there. And it's not football, is it?
No, Dean Carroll tackled him well, but Hartley slid the ball out. He just whipped Dean over and stood on his head.
Referee calling Hartley out now. But surely he's got to take some action now. Scrum down. Quickly out. Hartley's on the go for, but well tackled there. And again, fighting on Sting. Andrew Robinson's off.
Go on, Robbie!
Both off now. Dean Carroll and Hartley both sent off. He's getting beat a shambles now, Alan. Again, it's just the way everybody's going on. There's going to be no players left to play this game.
We've been penalised again here. Hartley ran straight for Dean at the scrum. We were well tackled. They just started headbutting. We've been penalised again where Bradford aren't intimidating.
Well, both captains now being called out by the referee, but one can only blame the referee, I think, for this kind of fiasco, Alan. If it had stepped on the intimidated play early on when we set off, that none of this could have happened.
This started in the first few tackles of the game. Like you said, he didn't stamp nothing out, let it carry on, just penalised them. And he thought he'd done the thing by sending two off, and he hasn't done. He's just let them carry on, which consequently started to send another two off.
So the game now quickly becoming a shambles as each side reduced to 11 players each. The referee had both captains together and asking his captains to talk to the players and ask them to quiet both sides down. Scrum down. The ball in out to the northern side, taken by Andrew Robinson. Ellery Hanley. Ellery forward, Keith Mumby. Andrew Robinson out. Back to Jeff Grayson. Grayson going forward. Well tackled there by Fairburn and Organ. Noble taking the ball forward. Taken by Arkin and Price. Andrew Robinson plays the ball out to Phil Sanderson. Phil Sanderson to Ellery Hanley. Ellery running and jinking. Going through there and well tackled by Watson. Loses the ball. OKR ball. Crooks with the ball. Crooks with the Price going blind and Organ going down that far side. Slips inside to Dunn. Dunn well tackled there by Grayson. Grayson tackling Dunn. Price, Arkin to Crooks. Crooks going forward. Well tackled by Grayson again. And Idle. The ball out. Arkin going the blind side, taking the blind side, going across. Takes the ball to Organ. Organ to Dunn. A well tackled there. And again, both touch judges on the field this time. This time it's Arkin laid out. Ian Ellis being sent off this time. And free kicks are overs. Well, this game quickly going to be reduced to 7-a-side competition. And again, one can only stress that this kind of play could have been cut out by the referee early on in the match. Would you like your comment, Alan?
He did right to send Ian Ellis off there for the tackle, but OKR started from the beginning of the game. I think this referee, I think they ought to ban him from rugby league because he hasn't made one good decision today. I think he's caused all the aggravation and he can't stamp it out now. It's got a bit out of hand.
That's right, of course. Well, Fairburn with a penalty for Rovers to put Rovers farther in front. 4 minutes out to the half-time whistle. Fairburn with a kick. Kicks a goal. 9 points to 5. Rovers lead now after 37 minutes of the first half. So many gaps now, Alan, from both teams. There should be quite a number of points now as players run and be able to run and find the gaps. So possession's vital now.
Yes, we've only had one scrum, and possession with OKR, they'll throw this ball about. Yeah. They've got plenty of pace.
And then Watson there, Watson coming forward. Still going forward, Watson. Brilliantly tackled by Keith Mumby in the middle of the park there. Price out to Arkin. Arkin taking on forward to Lydiate. Lydiate to Dunn. Dunn well tackled there by Barons and Hanley. Price out to Arkin. Arkin to Watkinson. Watkinson going back blind. Gets the ball away. Graham Idle picks the ball up. Giving the bus, puts the ball back. Brian Noble going forward. Going down. Gets the ball out to David Barons. Barons put into touch. Well, you wouldn't think Barons would... Dave Barons would run into field a bit more, Alan. He hugs that touchline sometimes, and there on first we get the ball and the first tackle we're again scrumming down.
He's very bad habit to that, David. It costs a lot of work for the forwards. We just got that ball back as second tackle, and we've lost it again.
Arkin to feed. Ball never gone in there. Arkin to feed again. Knock on. Arkin, Rovers with the ball. Out. And Organ now running wide. Well met by Mumby. Well tackled again by Mumby. Fairburn. Arkin going on the ground. Back inside to Fairburn. Fairburn going forward. Well tackled by Gratian. Price coming forward again. Organ running wide. Forward pass there. The whole crowd going up thinking they're in for a try, but blatant forward pass there. I think that's the first decision the referee spotted all afternoon, Alan.
Yes, that's the only decision he's gave what's been right today. There was no way that could have been forward.
Scrum down just short of the Northern 25 back. Arkin with the ball. Well held there by Robinson. Holding him up. Watson out. Outson to Lydiate. Tackled to Crooks dancing forward. Well tackled there by Mumby. And Hanley. The ball going out. Arkins. Dummies. Over for a try, Watson. OKR making the numbers score there, Alan. There's 4 men to Northern 2 over that side.
Yes, that's what we've been waiting for this, really. They're good at throwing the ball about OKR. Just spotted the blind side where it was weak. And Kevin Atkins held to dummy, then let the ball go. A good running try, really, from them.
Yeah, that's good. That's, as we say, the gaps obviously they start to appear when you've only 10 men on the field. And the team with the ball is obviously going to dominate the match now, so as I say, possession is critical. Jeff Gratian getting the lads together behind the post and trying to whip some enthusiasm into them. Rovers 12 points to 5 ahead now. Just about on the half time. Fairburn to kick. Misses a ball. 12 points to 5. 42 minutes. There goes the half-time out. A very ill-tempered first half, resulting in the sending off of 3 of the Northern players. Ian Ellis, Gary Van Bellen, Dean Carroll. 2 of the Rovers players. John Millington and Steve Hartley. I think an half best forgotten, but nevertheless, Northern still trailing 12 points to 5.
Yes, would have been at a disadvantage now. They're more at an advantage with 2 less men like than we are actually. They've got their pace in the forwards, I think. But really, we'd be penalised today for through no fault of his own.
That's right. Bad refereeing decisions early on in the first half, never stamping the problems out, and consequently the game's now being made into a fiasco by absolute terrible refereeing. We're out for the second half. Northern out first. One wonders just what this half is going to bring. One consolation for Northern South is a strong wind behind them. Let's hope we can get the possession that we need, because this game is now going to be ruled by possession. There come the LKR team. George Fairburn there wanted to play the same way twice, but suddenly decided to come back. Well, everybody out on the field now except the referee. Northern to kick off. Elian sure put the ball deep into the Rovers half. Off we go. Ellery puts deep down. That ball runs dead. Tap on the 25.
Somebody else. What kick?
Price plays the ball forward to Crooks. Crooks coming on the bounce. Well tackled there by Elliot Hanley. Pulled down. Price showing a dummy running forward. Meets Jeff Gresham. Well tackled. Watkinson again coming on his own. Tries to go around Andy Robinson, as well held by Robinson, out to Harkin. Harkin running forward and tackled by Sanderson. Hogan, well tackled there. Well tackled by Noble. Noble still on the ground there. Got a knock. Harkin, a little kick through, knocked down.
Couldn't help it, could he?
Phil Sanderson there, trying to retrieve the ball after a knockdown position, given offside by the referee. Fairburn to put the ball in the touch for Rovers. Fairburn finds a touch just 5 yards short of the Northern 25. Noble still receiving attention in the Rovers half. Ball's played. Watkinson going forward on his own. Sanderson gets the ball away. Out to Price. Price moves the ball to Harkin. Fairburn coming into the line, going through, well tackled led by Larry Hanley. And Graham Idle. The ball comes out. Price across to Lydia. Lydia, balls for the front. A brilliant tackle there by Larry Hanley. Dave Barron's there, sorry. Scrum down, 5 yards short of the Northern line. Brian Noble back in the front row there. Northern packing down with 3 men. Northern pack with 3 men. Ulkea with 4. The ball goes in out to the northern side. Picked up by Andrew Robinson. Stumbles, but takes the ball. Keith Mumby play the ball, takes it out, running forward. Graham Idle brings the ball out forward. Tackled by Hogan and Watkinson. Out to Jeff Gratian. Gratian coming forward, runs into Hogan and Price. Ellery Hanley goes offside there. Old KR caught offside. Crooks. Keith Mumby to kick for touch. Keith with a kick, puts the ball over, short of the halfway line.
Have you noticed that, yeah? Bad news, you know.
David, Andrew Robinson, Jeff Grayson to Andrew Robinson. Andy going forward, caught on the halfway line. Graham Idle, play the ball out, Phil Sanderson. Phil Sanderson going forward, makes good yardage there, Phil Sanderson. Pulled down by Lydiot. Robinson, Graham Idle to Jeff Grayson, takes a bad... Jeff Grayson dummy in, still with the ball, fighting players off. Well tackled by Watkinson. Gets the ball away to Ellery Hanley. Ellery's going through, Ellery still showing paces, Ellery. Out, oh. Ellery passing the ball there to Graham, to Hogan. Hogan with the ball out to Arkin. Arkin taking the ball, coming onto Crooks. Crooks going wide, well tackled there by Ellery Hanley. Ball coming across, Watson. Missed there by Robinson, well tackled by Idle. Hogan spreading the ball wide out.
Well done, Mumby.
Number 7, tackled by Noble there. Arkin showing the ball. Where's Hogan coming? Well tackled there by Robinson and Idle. Last tackle, Arkin coming the blind side, out to Lydiot. Lydiot trying to go around Noble, but well tackled by Noble. Scrum down on Northern 25. Rovers looking dangerous all the time with the ball now, Alan.
Yes, they're running about a lot, and our forwards are struggling. Got Jeff and Phil Sanderson. You know, they're not the fastest forwards. They're having to struggle to get across.
And scrum down. Andrew Robinson put the ball in. Goes out. Arkin passing off the ground, trying to go through. Watson. Oh, superb tackle there by Ellery Hanley. The ball's out. Lydiot's there. Lydiot under the post. Try to OKR. George Fairburn, they're going through, and Ellery Allen with this terrific tackle, Alan, but again, the gaps when you're short men, the pack's still breaking up, and Lydiot there with a simple task of picking the ball and going over the short side.
Yes, really there, like, they covered George Fairburn well, Ellery Hanley and Keith Mumby, but consequently from the play of the ball, it was a bit wide open then, because they'd all been dragged in, which is very unfortunate for the lads, because they're having to run all over to tackle today.
That's true, of course, and as we say now, OKR 15 points to 5 in front. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Fairburn to kick. Puts the ball through. 17 points to 5. Puts the ball deep. Oh, beautiful kick there by Ellery. Puts him 10 yards short of the OKR line. to feed. And feeding. The referee sees that and kick to Northern. 10 yards out from the OKR line. Andrew Robinson plays it back inside, blind to Graham Idle, goes forward, loses the ball on the first tackle. Rovers coming out. Get a fortunate bounce by George Fairburn. With the ball coming out. David Barnes goes into the tackle.
Well done, David.
Superb tackle there, cover tackle by Dave Barnes there with 5 Rovers men outside. Dave Barnes there taking a lead with 5 men outside.
He did very well there, David Barnes. Come in.
Sorghum coming forward, selects a ball. Knock on there by Dunn. Again, Alan losing the ball on the first penalty. Graham driving in and losing the ball on the first tackle.
That's being our biggest fault today. We have a tendency to do this. Lose the ball on the first and second tackle.
Yeah. Referee Whitfield penalising the OKR for talking. Keith Mumby to put the ball in touch for Northern. This ball deep in the OKR 25. Now there, Jeff Grayson going in, first man, out to Andrew Robinson, takes it in, drops Graham Idle off, Graham Idle going forward under the post, 10 yards from the Rovers line. Noble to go, double picks and goes, dances around one man, 5 yard shot, pulled down by Watkinson and Watson, Phil Sanderson, a big long pass, Andy Robinson, well tackled there by Fairburn, terrible pass by lob Phil. Pass from Phil Sanderson there, but Brian Noble again going. Says Jeff Grayson off, pushes one man off. But well met by 3 OKR players. Ellery Hanley to play the ball. Ellery takes it, sends a long pass out to Graham Idle. Alan Parker. Alan Parker's still going through. Brian Noble out. Offside again. Done offside. Penalised OKR, 2 yards out. Graham Idle takes it, Dave Barons. Dave Barons bursts forward, but still pulled back by 3 OKR men there. Don Arkin and Price. Now will take the ball out. Phil Sanderson. Andrew Robinson. Anderson's running forward, puts Ali Hanley away. Keith Mumby. Back inside to Alan Parker. Again, Northern lost the ball. Again, Alan, the line open there, and Alan drops the ball.
Yes, it's been like that all the game. We've got to make sure we take this ball for 6 tackles, keep it especially away from Rovers, and give ourselves a feel of the ball. Saves us chasing about then.
That's right, we made the opening there, but unfortunately dropped down and seemed to have got the ball there again. Andrew Robinson going forward. Ellery Hanley. Hanley across, Hanley going, running across. Well tackled. Alan Parker going inside. Shows the ball, but slips and is tackled there by, again, Hanley to take the ball, take it into Grayson. Grayson going forward, takes the ball into net by Hogan. Hogan and Fairburn. Ellery Hanley out, Andrew Robinson ducks on one tackle, but it's still held. Ball's pulled out, picked up by Brian Noble. Brian Noble going wide. Brian Noble grounds for a try. Referee Whitfield giving the try there. I rather thought Brian Page just dropped the ball as he went over Alan, but nevertheless, referee Whitfield giving the try.
Yes, give the try there. They seemed to pinch the ball from Andy Robinson, and Brian picked it up, went for the line. It looked like he dropped it down, but I don't know. I'll probably see it on the video better.
Yeah, well, nevertheless, the referee gives a try, and it's all around to try to again reduce the arrears. Finally to kick for goal. Crowd there getting rather incensed with Jeff Grayson coming over from some instruction from Peter Fox. Because this ground very green on top, but it must be born hard underneath, and the kicker's having a lot of trouble trying to find an hole for the ball, especially with a strong wind as well.
Yes, I think they're struggling with the ground. It must be hard, but there's plenty of grass on, and it's lovely condition. But it's this wind, the swirling wind, that's giving them all the trouble.
Ellery to kick for goal. Kicks the ball, drags the ball across. (17-8), Rovers lead. Give the lads a bit of art, will to pull for 3 points back anyway, and hopefully retain possession here.
Well, they scored a try there, so they know they can score another one, if as long as they can keep hold of this ball for 6 tackles.
That's Arkin placing the ball on the halfway line. Kicks the ball, puts the ball forward. Taken by Phil Sanderson, picks the ball up nicely. Tackles and pushes one man, pushes two men, still going down the middle. Hogan there. Tackle by Hogan. Ellery to play the ball, takes the ball, moves the ball out to Robinson. Robinson moves out wide to Grayson. Grayson pushes one man off back to Idle. Idle round. Andrew Robinson sees one man, tries to hit the gap, but is held by Crooks and by Arkin. Jeff Grayson being sent off now. Yeah. No, Jeff Grayson bringing the full Northern team off here. Not standing for this anymore. The game's coming off, and Jeff Grayson bringing the full Northern team off. The whole Northern team being brought off now by Captain Jeff Grayson. Referee Whitfield again lost control. Sends Northern Captain Jeff Grayson off, and off they come. And now OKR stood in the middle of the field, and they wonder what they're going to do. Referee Whitfield now in a quandary what to do. Complete fiasco this game has been from the start. The police going on to take the spectators off the ground. Referee Whitfield coming to the touchline now to see what the situation is. It's the first time I've seen this, Alan, a first-class game, but one's got to feel sympathy for the lads, but it's a disgrace for rugby league.
Yes, everything's just gone against them today. I think that was the final straw there. He sent Jeff Grayson off for talking. Jeff Grayson's the captain. He's allowed to talk to the referee. The referee just lost play control over the match. I think
what he sent Jeff off for, actually, I think he accused Jeff of throwing the ball at him, or I think Jeff of throwing the ball down, hit the referee, and the referee sent Jeff of throwing the ball at him.
Yes, I think Jeff threw the ball somewhere. As he was coming off, he signalled to Peter Fox and he sent him off for mouthing, which you don't know what this referee is capable of doing. But it looks like now, I think Jeff's let his team off, and if they don't come back, they'll just give him the match.
But it's indicative of the referee, you know, that as we said earlier in the first half, he let the game get completely out of hand, took no action when certain players were laid out, and consequently when it did get out of hand he couldn't control it, and still has not been able to control the game, and just let the game get completely out of hand, and consequently the Northern walked off and want nothing more to do with the game at the present time. Well, referee Whitfield back on the near touchline here talking to George Fairbairn, the OKR captain, but still no sign of the Northern team. Referee Whitfield talking to the police. Just what part in the game they have, I don't know, but I think he's trying to excuse himself to the police, but still no sign of the Northern team coming back on at all. The chairman of Hull KR out now on his team, calling his team in. Looks like the game's abandoned. Game's abandoned. Game's abandoned. And the Rovers team's going over to their fans like Roman gladiators of the centuries gone by. And they might well do after today's exhibition. Sad day for Rugby League.
The referee acknowledges that with a lift of the arm. So at the half-time break, a scoreline that reads Canterbury Bankstown 13, Manly Warringah 5. The scorers for Canterbury and some great tries. Stan Cutler, a gem of a try. There'll have to be something good scored to beat that one for the try of the match. Greg Brentnell and Steve Mortimer, and 2 goals to Steve Gearin, I think from 3 attempts. Okay, that's the Canterbury side. Tom Mooney has scored a try. Graham Eadie has kicked a penalty goal on their 5 points. We're going to hope for some more bright, breezy football with both sides involved in the second half. We'll be back after this break. We're doing. That's a bit of good defence for a change. Oh, here it comes. Yes. A deep kick, which Eadie has misjudged slightly, not picking the strength of the breeze. C has it. Got a bit of pace, this lad, too. He's beaten one, wrapped up by the second. Now Eadie a dummy half. He'll have a run from there. With his usual bulldozing fashion, gets to the quarter line. Bruce Walker comes off Krilic and runs very well. That's good running. He made a 10-metre gain, 11-metre gain. Now they need to all be on the move. Gray, Thompson, Vaughton, steps at pass, nearly intercepted, but Gardner is wrapped up straight away. Ray Brown running the blind side, lots of pass out to Mooney. Mooney nicely back inside to Ian Thompson. Then to Martin. Martin to Krilic. Krilic should go on his own there. They were going to pass it back 15 metres. They were too slow up the Manly 3/4. Last tackle. Martin. Thompson. Oh, that was, I think, a pass meant for outside, and Eadie got in the way of it. But that's the 6. Well, that probably is the most promising bit of football Manly have displayed. Barry Ross has been in the respective dressing rooms, and tactically, what's going to happen, Barry?
Well, you picked it, Rex. Canterbury are going to kick early on every set of tackles, and they're going to chase and put in a big effort to keep Manly down. Ted Glossop doesn't care if the ball goes over the dead ball line. Let Manly bring it out to the 22, he said, and we'll tackle and keep them there. He was a bit wary that Alan Thompson might slip in behind the defence, and he alerted his inside tennis about this in the 5/8. Manly, meanwhile, Alan Thompson very concerned about the defence and also the drop ball. Called for a much bigger effort this half, and that the game meant so much to Manly, and let's see if we can do something about it.
All right, well, there you've heard it hot from the presses, so to speak. Barry Ross has been there listening to the coaches in the 2 dressing rooms, and that's what it's about. Of course, a loss to Manly today would be traumatic. It'll be 3 losses in 3 games, and that's not going to help their plan. The ball was knocked backwards according to the referee. Thompson slips in behind the defence, as Ted Glossop thought he may do. Krilic, Russell Gardner, showing good acceleration there. Martin, Ray. Only about 11 metres out now, right under the post area. 2 tackles to go. 13-5 the score. Canterbury's favour. Krilic. Walker on the burst. Good straight running. 5 metres to go. Krilic, Martin, Thompson, Gardner. Good defence. That's good top stuff from Chris Mortimer. He's up limping slightly, Chris Mortimer, but he knows he can't give Russell Gardner an inch. Now Steve Mortimer feeds the scrum. It's a Canterbury ball. Now I think Vaughton's playing lock at the moment. Barry, keep your eye on that, will you? For Manly. And the ball's been stolen by Thompson. Gardner, beautiful pass out to Bradford, accelerating. Comes back inside. He had support there with Mooney. be a costly one. I think Mooney would have done better to stay in the field of play, and I think several of his teammates thought that too. They've spoken to him. He ran the risk going for the corner of being pushed into touch. Now they've got to get that ball back again. And a penalty against Manly for collapsing the scrum. So, second guess Mooney was probably ill-advised to go for the corner there. It was only the first tackle. Brentnall gets that off the side of his foot. Not a great kick, but it's over the sideline safely. This telecast being brought to you by Wesco Motors and local Mazda dealers. Greg Cook. Tough young fella. There's some strapping on the leg. Vaughton getting through a lot of defence. Hughes switches the play across to Steve Mortimer. There's an overlap out there. The ball's gone to ground. Gartner's there. This could be a try. Oh, so close. Gartner loomed onto it. Finally got the pass away there to Walker, who's having a bit of trouble playing it. Martin. Thompson. Back to Bruce Walker. He comes back in field. Manly sustaining some pressure now. This we'll see whether Canterbury can handle it. Thompson looks to go on his own. Pass away. It's gone to the ground. Krilic has it. Back to Martin. Now to Gray. A long lobby pass out to Russell Gardner. Gardner accelerates. Looks inside. It's taken beautifully by Brown, who lobs it to Mooney. Mooney's not going anywhere. He's wrapped up. He does love it now to Simon Brown. It's basketball. I think it's the Australian basketball team in action there at the moment. This pass is being thrown 10, 15 feet in the air. Mark Krilic throws the dummy. Can't get a pass away. Did the right thing. There was an intercept on it. He'd lobbed one out there on the left. Ray Brown. And last tackle coming up. And Canterbury defence has been very much equal to the task. Here's Martin with a toe punt. Toe pointed up in the air to get pressure. Cutler's dropped it. It's a penalty. Offside. Has to be. Cutler touched it. It was fallen on, I think, by Folks, is it? No, it's Mortimer. Chris Mortimer. Worth seeing again, perhaps, if we can get it in before the kick. And you'll see now Martin points his toe straight up in the air to get the ball to go high. I know I make emphasis on that, but that's for you youngsters. Now watch Cutler. He touches it. The ball goes forward. And the player in an offside position fell on it from head on. Cutler under great pressure there. And there's Cutler out front. You can see damaged himself slightly, being treated at the moment as Edie comes in to take this kick. Edie from directly in front could insist on the Canterbury player not being treated in that situation. It could be a distraction for him. The rules are pretty precise. Hartley's saying something to the Canterbury players now. That's a two-pointer up in the back of the stand. So then the score diminished slightly with 8 minutes of the second half gone. Canterbury 13, Manly 7. Gordon takes that on the second bounce. He's had a strong game. Ray Brown, Ian Thompson. Not just showing the vigour that a lot of the props around Sydney are capable of. John Gray got a pass away beautifully. well, when I say off the ground, falling. Up to halfway they come. It's a top pass, that. Long pass to Vaughton. Bruce Walker. Nice lead. Now eating it. He's accelerating hard. Got to pass away. It's gone to ground and Mooney's got it. 6 to go. Clutch. Overlap out in the left if they can get it wide. Oh, he's offside, surely. Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't agree with that. Ray Brown. In behind the defence, got it to Gartner, but he's wrapped up straight away. Good defence, this Canterbury side, not turning up their toes when they're without the ball, I'll tell you. John Gray. To Ian Thompson. Still going. Up to the quarter line. Krilic. Thompson. Gartner steps inside, loses it. 6 to go, it'll be. Well, he's not real 6 to go. I thought it was knocked out of his hands by the Canterbury player. Well, how did you see that one, Barry?
Yes, I agree with the referee.
You did? All right. If it was not knocked out of his hands, fair enough.
Well, you're running down the road on a sunny day, and you take a look around you and you hear somebody say there's a whole lot more coming over the hill. And you take a look around you and you know there'll soon be thousands of feet pounding over the ground. There'll be sweat, there'll be muscle, there'll be plenty of sound. They're wearing sports t-shirts, all the physical fits. They're wearing sports t-shirts, all they can do it. They're wearing sports t-shirts, all the physical fits. They're wearing sports t-shirts, all they can do it. They're wearing sports t-shirts, all the physical fits. They're wearing sports t-shirts, all they can do it.
Do you have to go, Marshall?
Why, I sure do. Somebody phoned with battery trouble. If anyone hollers, I go. 24 hours, 7 days a week, anywhere in the metropolitan area. If you need a new battery, I'll fix you up with a reliable Marshall. Marshall can deliver and install quality batteries for no extra charge, because Marshall sell direct. Got battery trouble? Look me up on the phone book. I'll be there fast with a reliable Marshall.
Check out the value. Check out the savings. Check out Coles New World for these great specials. Rinso or Omo laundry detergent, special $1.39. Weston's biscuits at only 39 cents. Willowbrook margarine reduced to 79 cents. Peter's vanilla ice cream, now only 99 cents. Check out the tender roasting beef pieces, $3.99 a kilo. So this week, check out New World and save with Coles cheaper prices.
It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Wonderful people, Excellency. Wonderful. Where did they get the money for that? Where did they get the money for that? For that? Or for those? Where did they get the money?
From Mercantile Credits, the big lender.
Did you say something?
Mercantile Credits Limited, branches in Sydney, Liverpool, Parramatta, Newcastle and Wollongong.
Ross has got John Doherty on the sideline there, and Doherty's a man who's very important to Manly's chances in 1980. It's fairly important that he get back on the track soon. What's the story?
John, what's the reason for pulling out of this game?
I've got a bruised spinal cord, Barry, and I thought that with...
Wait a minute, we'll come back to you in a moment. This exciting football. Now we'll just have a look at this.
All right, as we go with Thompson away to John Gray. Only about 20 metres out now, and pressure coming to Canterbury, and they're handling it like veterans. Nice dummy there. Brown gets a pass away, one-handed, and Thompson. Gartner halfway round, he's mad. Accelerating, unloads the Mooney. Mooney goes home. It's a try in the corner. Touch judge flagged down, and that's a good one. That was top-line football by Russell Gardner to use his acceleration so well. See it again. This is the way it came. Brown stood up on the tackle, unloaded to Thompson, then to Gartner. What's the acceleration of him? He gets around Robinson, as you'd expect, because Roberts is a second row forward, and Mooney on the sideline from head on. We'll see whether the touch judge was absolutely spot on or whether the legs were over the side. We shall see. It's been called a try. Mooney comes in. I think he got it down. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Good decision by the touch judge. And Hartley, of course, had to go on that decision. That's been a most important 7 or 8 minutes of football for Manly. There's the Mooney record, and just getting better and better. He's scored 2 tries in this match. That's 5 tries in 5 games. And we'll go back to that interview with John Dorahy.
John, you were saying about that spinal injury.
Yeah, I bruised the spinal cord, Barry, and the doctors thought that, you know, I'd be better off resting it for the week.
How did you do that injury?
Well, you know, it's pretty pretentious, I suppose. You know, I got a couple of late tackles, I suppose you'd call it, and I was down for the count those 2 times, and I was out of it after that. And
that was last week's game against West.
That's right, Barry, and, you know, I had a late tackle there early in the season, and I had the same thing, but only this time I got 2 in 2 minutes, and it was twice as bad. And I've still got pins and needles in my hand, so
I've got to be very careful with things like that, John. Tell me, with this going to the game now, there are a lot of defensive lapses in the first half by Manly. Where do you see the trouble stemming?
Well, I think really it's a team effort, and I think they've all got to get together and tackle as a team, whereas at the moment we're all doing it individually.
All right, John Dorahy, hopefully back for Manly in the near future. Mooney, hungry for number 3, specialises in scoring tries against Canterbury, gets up and plays it forward.
Yes, the Canterbury side must have nightmares against Mooney. That's 6th in his last 2 matches against Canterbury, and he's got a bad dose of the flu today, Rex. He had treatment before the game to go out there today.
Well, Manly putting it together better now. Manly running from left to right, of course, for those of you that may not know the respective sides. Maroon and white. Brown holding the ball very high there. It can be ripped out of his hands. Robertson, I think, thought about it. Martin, Thompson, Eadie comes chiming in. Pushes Gary Hughes out of the way. This is an Eadie special. Great bumping, hard run. Top bit of football. 13 points to 10. 19 minutes or 16 minutes, I'm sorry, of the second half gone.
Notice that Paul Vorton was blocking that scrum, Rex.
Yes, I've noticed that, Barry. So Brown's in the second row, which is his second position virtually. Walker running from dummy half, and 3 Canterbury forwards were offside and they hadn't got back on the onside. Pillage runs from dummy.